Hello and welcome or welcome back to Cast On a Knitting Podcast, where I talk about my finished objects, my whips, some yarn acquisitions and some more knitting things. My name is Ellie, I'm from Austria and this is episode number 43. Hello, I am so glad you could join me once again. I hope you're all doing really well. The weather has been so nice and it's just really lovely being outside. Thank you to everyone who sent me well wishes for my run. That made me really happy, and I can tell you a little bit more about that later. The run itself wasn't great, but I am very proud that I did it. So that much about that. And then the second thing, I am filming this episode in between work, so that's why I am in my work clothes, so I look fancier than normally. But yeah, just to let you know, I am also wearing my Aoife cardigan today on top because in my apartment it is still very cold. So I needed something on top. I am in love with this piece. The colour is just perfect. It is the perfect neutral to go with literally everything, and I really want to make another cardigan. I hate making cardigans because I don't like the purling side, but I do need a second one, and I think I'm gonna cast on the April cardigan very soon. But that is all in the future. I have Petite knits buttons. I do have to change the way I attach them. I just used the yarn that I used for this cardigan, which is Drops Karisma, and attach the buttons. But what happens is that the knot you have on the inside where the button is attached, it becomes loose. So I'm really worried I'm gonna lose the buttons, so I do need to change that and reattach them with some thread. Maybe I can even use my sewing machine to really tack them down, or at least use embroidery thread to make it more secure and not having to worry about them just falling everywhere and me losing them. Right, I need a sip of water. I don't have any tea today, but you should also have a drink because hydration is really important. Generally I am okay with drinking nowadays. I used to be really bad. I only used to drink like half a litre to a litre a day, but I am making the conscious effort to drink more water, have all the nutrition that you need in your body, and just take care of yourself because it does help in the long run. I am less tired, which is mostly due to water. Who would have thought? Anyways, I don't have any finished objects. I do have some whips, but over the past 2 weeks I've just really not had a lot of time, so I don't know how long this episode will actually be. My knitting mojo is back in full swing and I really want to cast on so many new things. And because it's spring and the weather is getting warmer, I really want colour in my life, but at the same time I am not a really bright coloured person. As you can tell, I am more muted. I like the beiges, the browns at the moment, as you will be able to tell with my whips, because all of them are kind of the same in a sense colour wise. But what was I saying? Yeah, because it's spring and you have all of these really vibrant colours popping up everywhere, I want to have something vibrant as well. But I need to think about, do I just want to cast it on for the sake of casting it on at the moment, or will I actually wear this garment or whatever I'm gonna make in the future, in the long run? And I think the answer to that is no. So I have to pace myself, I have to be patient and not just jump in full force and buy loads of different colours, because I know I've done this in the past and these things are just in my wardrobe, they're just in the closet and never to be touched or seen again, because I simply just don't wear them. Yeah, so much about that as well. I would say let's get started with my whips. I have 3 whips, but bear in mind the progress will probably be very minimal, just because I just didn't have the time. The first one that I have for you is the Porcelain sweater by Lene. I am so happy I picked up this project again, because it is looking fantastically, and I really want to get this done before it gets too warm, but at the same time I have other projects which take priority over this one, so don't know how I can manage that. This is what it looks like. It is a drop shoulder sweater design. I still don't have a collar, but this will be the next thing that I'm gonna do. I say this with every project, but with this one I really mean it. So last time I just finished the second colour work chart. I am now on the last one. I'm not even halfway through yet with this one. This one seems to be a bit more complex than the other one, or at least the middle one here. So I do need to pay more attention to it, and it's just not a project I want to pick up in the evening when I'm already tired and I don't want to think. Yeah, that's why I'm not very far yet, but I've been really enjoying knitting on it. I am using Drops Karisma in the colour number 1 and colour number 4. I'm really happy with the colour choice. I am a bit sad that it's not as fluffy as the original version and other people's versions, because you can either use a DK weight, which is what I'm doing, or use a fingering with a lace weight. So a lot of people use mohair in their versions or a fluffier yarn, and that kind of blends the motifs a little bit more together, and I don't have that. I kind of wish I did, but at the same time I know I just didn't want any mohair in this sweater, because I am trying to reduce the amount of mohair I have in my sweaters, because mohair, first of all, is expensive, and second of all, for the wear, it is a lot better for me to have pure wool than have something with mohair, because I cannot wear it as much and as often with that in it. Anyway, this is what it looks like. I'm making size XS to S, I think is the sizing. I can't quite remember, I forgot to look it up, but I'm essentially making the smallest size as per usual, and it is very oversized. The armhole is very deep. This is an absolute massive armhole. So I'm going to finish off the body, and then I'm going to work on the collar, and then I'm going to pick up for the sleeves. I don't know how long the sleeves will actually take me, because you do have this color work repeating on the sleeves as well. This one wasn't too difficult in my opinion. I'm gonna have to finish the last one to really see which one is easier. But yeah, I hope I'm not gonna run out of yarn. I know I definitely have enough of the contrast color. I bought the amounts that the pattern told me to buy, and I'm just praying, because I know I have more of this white yarn. I can't remember. Oh, in my Moby sweater, that's where I used this yarn, because I knew I had some leftovers of this specific one, not the same dye lot, but I knew I had some leftovers, but I couldn't remember which sweater I made, and it is my Moby sweater where I also used drops Karisma. So I do have some more of this if worst comes to the worst, and don't have to buy any additional yarn. Normally the dye lots with drops Karisma aren't that different, so it shouldn't really make a difference, but we'll see. I have, let me just check, I have 2 more brown ones and 4 more white ones. Is that going to be enough? We'll have to see. I very much doubt that this will be enough. I think I'm gonna have to play yarn chicken with this one. But yeah, really happy with this so far, and I'm gonna just continue working on it slowly, and yeah, have it on the side, I guess, because the next project that I have is the one that has to take priority over all of the other ones. I am making a sweater for a friend of mine as a birthday gift, and his birthday is next week, which I for some reason completely forgot about and thought it was further in the future than it is. So I have to now speed knit this sweater. I am making the Semper sweater by the Knit Purl Girl, and last time, so I'm making size B, and last time I already finished all of the yoke and I was really far at the body as well. Since then not a lot has happened. This is what it looks like. You have a folded over collar. Since last time I started on the first sleeve, this is 1 ball of yarn. I've not attached the second one just because I need to put a marker in, and I know I have to extend the sleeves and the body because he is taller than me, or a woman in general, because he's a man and he has just naturally longer arms. So I now know how much I can get out of 1 ball of yarn. This is how much I can get. I still haven't measured it because I was more focused on the sleeve. I have his measurements, but I don't know how I should measure it, because obviously the measurements from, for example, from his arm is his actual arm, not including ease. So the goal is to knit it a little bit shorter, so then when I'm blocking it I can stretch it out if need be. I mean, the sleeves are not super important because I know he likes to roll up the sleeves, which annoys the heck out of me because he just stretches out the cuff so much to a point where there is no return. So I know that it won't be that big of a deal, but I would like to hit it at the right length. The decrease rate is a little bit different for this one as well. I just added a row or 2 because I know I will make the sleeve longer than what the pattern says. So that is all I did. That is the only modification I did so far. Apart from that, I am knitting everything to pattern, and I kind of want this for myself as well. I really like this colour. Again, it is brown, but it's a really nice kind of washed out brown. I am using a drops Karisma as well. As you can tell, this is like one of my favourite yarns. This is colour 56. It's a nice heathered brown, and I wanted to use some superwash wool with this because I know he's not the most thorough person, so it needs to be functional as well, for him to just be able to throw it in a washing machine without having to worry about too much about felting, etc. I would still of course prefer he hand washed it, but we'll see. He's a man and he's clumsy, so I'm not hating on the men or making a general assumption here, but he is, yeah, just very typical of that statement. So this is what I have so far. I think I have 4 or 5 balls left, is that right? Maybe more, maybe less, I have absolutely no idea. I have kind of lost track of everything. So what I'm debating now is, should I continue on this sleeve with the second ball, or should I start the other sleeve to use the next ball of yarn to make it even immediately, and then kind of switch back and forth, because again, I don't know about the length in general. That is the question of the day, and something that I have to think about what I want to do. I'm hoping that I won't need more than 3 balls of yarn for a sleeve. I mean, judging by this, the sleeve starts here. This is 1 ball. This is quite a lot of fabric that I have created with just this 1 ball. So I hope I won't need more than 3. Because if that's the case, then I might have to order more yarn, and because it's Easter next week, which I also forgot about because time is just flying by, I'm not sure the yarn will be here in time, so I might have to, if I can't finish it, I will have to tell him, look, I have a present for you, it's still in the works and I'm gonna gift it to you a little bit later, which isn't a huge deal because he understands, but it would have been nice to gift it to him for his birthday without having to delay it. Anyways, I don't think there's anything else to say with this jumper at the moment. I am very stressed. I have to sit down this evening and really work on this. I'm really tired all of a sudden. And yeah, tonight is another knit night. I am excited to go there. I hope that the people will be nice. I mean, I know they will be, but last time I wanted to go and then I didn't feel good at all, so I went there and then I started to feel really unwell, and then I immediately went back home, so I sadly missed it. But this time I would like to go and see how everyone is doing. It's a really nice group. There are a lot of English speakers there because they don't know German or they are from different countries, so that is also kind of cool because I feel like I can express myself a lot better through English because I learned knitting in English. So most of the times when I'm trying to explain something to someone in German, all of the words that are necessary are just not in my brain. So yeah, we'll see about that, but if I do decide to go, I have to take this jumper with me and just knit. That's all I have to do. I just have to knit on it. The last whip that I have to show you is my Pippin sweater. I am making the Pippin sweater by the knit Purl in the size B, and I have worked on it a little bit since last time, but not that much. This is what it looks like. The texture is just so gorgeous. It's incredible. It's exactly what I wanted, and this yarn really makes it pop, so that makes me really happy as well. I am using Drops Daisy by Drops. Obviously, just said that. This is 100% extra fine merino wool in the colour Marzipan. I showed this last time as well. This is such a nice yarn. Once I started working with this, I had to buy more of it because it's so nice to work with. It's so round and smooth but bouncy at the same time. There's absolutely no itch factor whatsoever, and it's a really great budget yarn as well. So I'm making size B. I don't know the ease. I forgot about that again. But it has a folded over collar. I used Petite knits method with some double knitting to have a really nice fold, which for me, I've used this a couple of times now, and it really just gives the best results for a folded over collar in my opinion. It also is the neatest one in my opinion, so that's why I opted for this instead of the recommended purl row that you do before or for the fold. I'm slowly working on this. I'm really enjoying the texture. It's a very simple stitch pattern. You don't really need to think a lot. It's a two row repeat. Sorry, just had to think about that. It's a 2-row repeat, and yeah, I think it's 2 rows, at least for in the round, with the increases for now. And yeah, just keeping this in my knitting bag on the go, because it's still so small and handy to take with me. And I don't think there's that much to tell you, because I've just really not been working on it that much. I have to check gauge, to be honest. I've never worked with this yarn before, so I don't know if I'm on gauge or off gauge, but in general I am not too fussed about these things. I know some people might be screaming at their screens right now to tell me that I have to do a gauge swatch, etc. But to be honest, most of the sweaters that I make are either oversized or too big in terms of ease anyways, unintentionally, just because I am such a petite person and have such a small bust circumference that when you only have, or not only, but when you have 10 centimeters of positive ease, it's naturally bigger on me than someone else. So I don't have any tight fitting sweaters anyways. I think apart from one, my Christmas sweater is quite tight fitting, but that's why I'm just not too fussed about it, because however it turns out, I'm happy with the result most of the times, and I like to have my things a little bit bigger anyways, instead of really clinging to my body. So yeah, I should check gauge just out of an interest point, I guess. I don't think there's really anything else to say. I don't know if my brain is just not computing right now or not, but I'm just, yeah, enjoying working on this project, and I'm gonna keep going with it. This is very the Knit Purl Girl heavy, I guess. 2 out of 3 projects, but I really like her patterns, and I want to finish up those sweaters. I'm normally not a summer garment person, just because I don't wear summer or knitted summer things, or they just don't turn out right, so I don't even bother. So I'm probably gonna stick with making sweaters even throughout summer. I mean, I casted on the porcelain sweater last July, August, something along those lines, which is in the middle of summer. But yeah, those were my projects. I do want to have another one. I have not made a... Sorry, I got fluff stuck to my mouth. I have not made any progress on my Colette pullover, purely because I just barely had any time as it is. So I'm gonna have to pick that one up again, but really the priority is the birthday sweater, to finish that, and then we'll see what else, yeah, what else comes along. Words are not coming easy to me today, which is strange. I might have to take a nap before I go back to work. In terms of future cast on plans, I I'm just looking at my stash, and there are so many projects just by looking at the yarn that I really want to cast on or have. But I think it would be wise to just finish off, especially the really long-term whips first before I cast on anything new. I wore my Sophie scarf today, and I really need the Sophie shawl. I have not cast it on yet. I bought the yarn and I wanted to cast it on, but it's just not an intuitive pattern to me, and it's not as mindless as I would have wanted it to be. So that has kind of been what has been holding me back from that. But the shawl would have just been perfect. It's been 3 degrees this morning, and it goes up to 13 today, so it was freezing when I left the house because I had to go to the doctor's. And then when I came back, luckily the sun was already out and things have been warming up, but my god, my neck was just really cold even with the Sophie scarf. So I need something bigger, I need something a bit more voluptuous, covering my neck, and I think that the Sophie shawl is just the perfect project for that. So yeah, apart from that, I don't have any really urgent plans. Like I said, I would like to make the April cardigan soon, because I think a tighter fitting cardigan is another thing that I just am lacking in my current wardrobe. And because I wanted some colour, I do have 2 projects which are very different in colour. The one is lavender and the other one is like a really nice, rich and deep red burgundy colour. I need to have a look at the patterns for those, maybe even a swatch, which I just told you I never really do. But we'll see. I don't have any yarn acquisitions. The postman rang the doorbell just before I started this, but because my buzzer to open the door once again is broken, I could not let him in, and by the time it finally clicked, he was already gone. So God knows what he was supposed to deliver. Probably wasn't yarn, but I am waiting on one knitting related thing, and if that was that thing, I'm very sad that I haven't been able to pick it up before I started recording. But we'll see, it could have also been something completely different, I don't know. I have to pick it up from the post office later. Right, apart from that, I don't think there's anything else to report. My run, as I mentioned at the beginning, I am proud that I did it. It was only a 5-kilometer run, but I was dying the whole way through. I never ran this fast in my life. I've been running for about a month and a bit now, almost 2 months, but I had to take a break in between because I injured myself, as you do when you do sports. So this was a very challenging experience mentally. I think it was one of the hardest things I ever had to endure, but at the same time I can now tell people I did that, and I'm really proud of myself, and time wise I'm also happy with what I got. So I am getting better. I am starting to enjoy running a little bit more as well, and I'm gonna definitely keep going, keep progressing, and who knows, maybe I will run a half marathon in autumn, which would be absolutely incredible. But I also have to have a lot of discipline and a plan behind that, so we'll see. Apart from that, I'm going to my hometown next week because it is my birthday, so I want to go home also for Easter for a few days, which I'm very excited about because I'm gonna see my grandparents again and just spend time with family. I really miss them. And yeah, apart from that, I don't think there's anything else as of right now, which I can't tell you in the next episode. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I know it's been very chaotic once again, not a lot of progress for my projects, but I hope you still enjoyed spending time with me, knitting or crocheting or working on whatever you're working on with me on the side. And I'm gonna see you next time. Happy Easter if I don't see you before that, and if you are celebrating Easter, and have a really lovely, hopefully sunny and warm day wherever you are in the world. Happy knitting, guys. Bye.